Imagine going to pay your wages only to find that the bank that you deal with has just gone bankrupt. Good morning and welcome to In the Car with Clint. If you have stayed across the American news, you will be aware that SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, has had a bank run against it and is up against the wall. Made some silly, well, some might say silly, but made a decision to try and, invest with, well, they made a bet against interest rates. That car was going a bit too fast. Interest rates going up, interest rates didn't go up, and they lost something like $1.8 billion or something. Do your own research around the detail. The point of the story is, there's a few points. One, be careful who you bank with, right? Obviously in Australia, we've got the big four plus, what are they called? Credit unions, etc. All of the banks, I know the big four, and I think most of the credit unions have a government insurance thing. Again, not my wheelhouse, but I did a bit of reading about it this morning. From what I can understand, they're required, well, they've got this insurance covers, a bank defaulting up to $250,000 per client per banking license. So if I understand it right, it's, if I've got 6 accounts with the NAB, then they're all counted as, one client, and the NAB's got 1 banking license. And then if they go bankrupt, I'm covered to $250,000. So for business owners out there that might have $1 million in cash, as I understand it, if you've got $1 million in cash in the Commonwealth Bank and the Commonwealth Bank go bankrupt, which I don't think is going to happen, I want to be clear, I'm just talking this out, making sure that we're thinking about it. If that happens, you lose $750,000 plus that $250,000 that's covered. They say it'll be paid within 7 days. Now, I don't know. I know how the world works. Well, I know how it works for me, and I can only imagine the shitstorm that would be occurring if a bank went bankrupt and there was every client trying to get paid their up to $250,000, and I think the likelihood of that getting done within 7 days is 0. So start thinking about what that might look like for you if your bank had some issues. Even just, this is a good reminder to think about what it might look like if you go to an ATM and there's no cash, or you go to pay with EFTPOS and there's just a glitch. It's all computers, right? You can't always just turn it off and turn it back on again and it's all happy days. So what does your life look like if you have no cash and your card doesn't work? Or what does your life look like if you go to pay wages and the bank doesn't have money? And I don't want to make this very doomsy, fucking everyone's gonna die, but there's some bad shit going on, and there's banks that are going into liquidation or bankruptcy, and the people that had their money there don't have their money there now, right? So these people have worked their ass off, they're running companies, they've got investments, the money's in the bank where they thought it was safe. I think they were like the 8th largest bank in America, and now it's not there. And look, someone might swoop in and save the day, but I've talked about this before, you cannot rely on other people to save the day. You have to be, it's UFC, right? Protect yourself at all times. So I just wanted to make this video to remind you to think about where you've got your money and if you consider it safe. Because right now, I'm genuinely thinking I'm better off having a lot of debt and no cash, and just kind of like using any cash I've got available as a deposit against property. And then if the bank goes bankrupt, I got no cash in there, I don't give a shit. Bankrupt away, my friends. Maybe you'll forget about my loans. Very unlikely. Anyway, that is today's In the Car with Clint. Sorry it was a bit of a boo-hoo, but sometimes the world's not all, sprinkles and fairy dust and shit, right? Sometimes you're gonna get punched in the face. So I think having a plan for what you might do in the event of a punch in the face, even just having a written policy, if the bank has no money, this is what we do. Because it is your responsibility to protect your money and your people. Be kind to each other, be kind to yourself. Let me know your thoughts. I'd be keen to hear from anyone in the comments who's, more educated about this than I. Obviously people that might work at a bank, or someone who might work in finance or accountings? Yeah, good one, Clint. Because maybe I'm wrong. Just one man's opinion while he's driving to work to sell sprinklers. See ya.